Hey, everybody, it's Bob Phibbs, the retail doc. It is Sunday, December the 19th. You're actually listening to me conducting Sleigh Ride. Yeah, hopefully you can hear that. I was a conductor for many, many years, and this would have been the weekend that we would have been going through and making final preps. And this was actually what I opened my final concert with many long years ago. But I am here with you, and it's a big week. So do me a favor, type in where you're joining me from around the world. I know we're on many platforms. You're joining me live. Give me some thumbs up. Let me know that you're out there. Hey, from Wisco. It's Wisco, Texas. I never quite know that, Haley. And give me some love. Let me know you're out there because it's important. Mike's up early from either LA or Louisiana. See, I'm not that hip on the location. There we go. Stacy, Madison, Wisconsin. A good friend of mine is the mayor of your city out there. Lauren from West Virginia. Ellie from Brookline. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Well, as you're coming on board, this is the big week. I hope you're all having good sales. I know when I've gone out into the local stores, it doesn't seem like out of stocks are a huge thing. Yeah, we're out of some things, but you know what? It's fine. And before I forget, because I have my little notes about what I wanted to share with you, I don't have a lot of comments, but it will be about 20 minutes. So strap in and let's get ready. It's really important, those of you who dabble in Christmas and holiday merchandise, that you hear this message, which some people always want to fight me on. Your goal is to be out of that category by Christmas Eve. That means put this stuff on sale now while people will buy it. And don't wait until that week after Christmas when you hope people are going to come out and want to buy it. Or worse yet, after that, then you're going to pack it up and you're going to bring it out next November. Your goal is get out of it and make sure that you are clean and ready to go for January. So again, please don't fight me that. If you're a Christmas store, that's probably a little different for you. But for most of us, the goal is to get out of it while people still like, oh yeah, that's on sale for 30% off. Yeah, I could give that to Jane or I could give that to somebody. And that's first tip for you. You can keep track of how many I'm going to give you here today because I'll be doing it freestyle, which means as they come to me, I'll be sharing. But also make sure that you are always thinking about how are we going to capture these people who this last week of Christmas are probably people you've seen before. They're coming back for something for themselves. So make sure you put something at about $20 price point on your register, your counter area, whatever, that just says for the gift you forgot. And it has to be something easy to pick up. It's not like something very specialized. Sometimes I see bookstores do this with, like 30 most loved Shakespeare sonnets. That's a considered purchase. What we want is, an easy, bathroom book or something. I don't know that anybody could get and receive, or if it's a toy store, the same idea. But the goal is it's right there. It shouldn't require any thought, and it's under that $20 price point. It's not, a set of wine glasses that are on sale for $50. They were normally $100. Not like that. Those are considered purchases. It's an easy pickup. It's an easy add-on. All right, so that's number two. And going back to capturing the information, this week, I'll tell you about what I tend to do, what I like to do with my clients, but at the very least, ask your customers to check in on Facebook so that they can at least give you some creed and you can actually hold on to them, because it's going to get slower in January and February. And you want to be able to contact these people in some way. So whether they join your Facebook group and you can do it. But here's a secret that I have used for an awful lot of years for a lot of my retailers. Maybe this won't work for you, but it works for an awful lot. So go out to your local toy store and buy $100 big train in a big set. Big, it doesn't have to be like the most expensive, but about $100. It's got to have a decent look to it, and have a drawing on Christmas Eve that you'll give this away at 2:00 on Christmas Eve. Winner must be present to pick it up. And what you'll do is you'll call the person or you'll text them. They have 30 minutes to come and pick it up. If they don't, the next one you draw does. And it sounds like, oh, well, this is a big deal. It is a big deal because a lot of people find that they could give it to a grandchild or a neighbor or any number of things, or even if they buy it and they want to give it to Toys for Tots or they want to take it to the local kids hospital, it's it is a great feeling on that Christmas Eve when you're tired and you're like, oh my gosh, I should let everybody go home, is that you've got this. But more importantly, in this next week, you'll be surprised how many people will sign up and don't say, oh, I know Jane, I'll get her email. No, they've got to put their first and last name and their email address, and they'll obviously have to give you their phone number or text number. And you explain the rules in something that just says winner must, they'll get 30 minutes to do it, and then it will cut off and you'll move on to the next person. But just try that, because that is a great way to get people's excitement. It's a great way. Even people say, oh, I don't need to train. I'm sure you don't, but there's ways you could use this and still be a hero. All right. So that's what's that, idea 3? I think so. Let me take a quick look and see where everybody is coming on from, because I have so many people who joined us today. David from Dayton, glad you're there. Tammy from Hood River, Oregon. A friend of mine is going to college. Her daughter's going to college up there. Rachel, I'm glad you're there. Alex, early in the morning. Mohammed from Egypt, glad you're here today. Rose, so glad I'm on from Port Orange, Florida. Oh, I'm glad to be here too. Richard, it's nighttime there for you, I guess, in England. Bon dia, Kenya, glad you're here. Denville, New Jersey. And again, if you're just joining in, type in where you're joining me from so that I can give you a shout out. Heather, all the way from Fredericksburg, Virginia. I think I've said this to you 100 times, but my mom grew up in Bridgewater, not very far from you. Ellie, any other tips for collecting emails for customers prior to transacting besides giveaways? I think the key is, Ellie, and you do this so well, is what's the value add? So I'm a big believer of have a QR code. This way I could scan to join it. Promise you're going to give them, 5 tips for how to, especially in your case, because you're all about newborns and babies, a quick checklist for the new mom in the new year or something. Just have a QR code. They could scan it, enter their email address, and then you could set it up as a trigger to send to them. The key is to be thinking, what's the value add? And these are the words I'm using in 2022. What's the value add? Because that's the only way I'm going to do anything. In fact, my team, we say, well, what's the value add for the customer? And it's the same thing. You don't want to just say, join our newsletter list where you get discounts. I get discounts from anyone. You'll get discounts anyway. But the key is, what is the hook? What is the thing that they will say, oh, that's a value. I'm willing to exchange my email and credit card, well, not credit card, my email or my text number for that. So I hope that helps. Good note from that. Hey, Nancy, glad you're here. Lynn, glad you're here from southern Alberta, Canada. I didn't know there was a northern Alberta, Canada, but all right, there you go. Marcus from London, Ontario. Great. Oh, it's for lunchtime for you, Richard. Nice. Victoria from the eastern shore of Maryland. Hey, I'm glad you're here. Good. I'm glad you like that, Ellie. Good deal. And we got a lot of people from Canada today. Must be a big time in Canada. So that's one thing. So next, forget sizes. I don't give a damn that you don't know your wife's size, your husband's size. Doesn't matter. I always say, pick the smallest one or the biggest one, and that way they have to come back in the store, right? Because invariably, I was in, my last clothing thing. I sold cowboy clothes. It's a long story. We won't talk about that today. But I'd invariably have a guy say, oh, well, my wife is about her size. And it'd be one of our employees, and she'd be, doesn't matter. She's a size 10 or 12. And the mom would come in and she was either twice that size or half that size. And she goes, really? She thought I was that size? Doesn't matter at this point. This is all about get the sale. I don't give a damn what the sale looks like. If they're there on Christmas Eve and they're saying, well, I want to look around, you can have that discussion. It's Christmas Eve. Now is the time to just buy as much to the time that you want to, you want to give $100, you want to give $150, you want to give $1,000, and give that. And that way you still have something to give, but really help people, because I don't know if I want to say they're putty in your hands, but there's a certain amount of that the week before Christmas. And especially if you're selling to men. So look for the newsletter tonight. I give a whole article on selling to men. It's really important you understand men want to be the hero. They're going to show up with you on Christmas Eve, and they don't want to have to make too many decisions. And the idea that they can be the hero means the sky's the limit, which is my next point to all of you, is get out of the it's on sale and gift cards. What the goal is, how high is up. So if you're a jewelry store, you're going to be thinking of the A and the B answer. So, I'm thinking I want to get something for my wife, and it's like, oh, what does she like? What have you bought her before? Well, how does she want? All those questions you already do, and you settle on, I don't know, bracelet. Okay, why am I pointing here? because maybe there's a pendant that would make it the A plus gift. Or maybe if you get the ring, there's the earrings, and you're showing it. You're not going to ask them, do you want something else? You're showing it, right? So it's the same thing, even Ellie, with you with baby strollers. Here's the A answer for grandma to buy for the newborn mom. But here is what makes it even more special is there's the X that goes with it. And that's the same thing for you with apparel, right? Even if you're buying it for yourself, is if somebody buys the shirt, let me show you. And does it ever get cold when you go out? Absolutely. Well, here's the perfect jacket that goes with that. But you got to intrigue me. You got to romance me a little bit. And again, if you're selling $5 widgets, you're probably even following me. But if most of you follow me who sell things that are more than $100, and now is the time that it is how high is up. And yeah, I know you can sell a gift card, and people are like, oh, isn't it gift cards? If you ever unwrapped a gift card, it's like, wow, what did it take you? 1 minute to think about this? Great. And I hear everyone all the time, oh, but that's all kids want. That's because that's what's easy for parents. But the goal is to have something to unwrap and have a tactile experience with your store. That's the difference, right? So if you're a baking store and you're selling the mixer, then you're going to give them a kit of something that they can make that morning with the product, so that it's not like, oh, thanks, a tool for me to make you food. Right? So you're thinking, that's what this last week is about, is you're thinking, how else can I add value? How else do they become a hero? How else can they actually use what they're buying with me? If that resonates with you, if you think that's great, do me a favor. Give me some thumbs up. Let me know you're awake and you're listening. Because if you get value out of this, you got to tell me. So say you're like, that's a great idea, or I will do X, because then you're actually associating the learning. And there used to be a sign a lot of people had, went around social media probably 5 years ago, and it was like, how mad is she? So it had like a little bud vase, and then it had a few roses, and then it had like a dozen red roses. And I just think the idea for all of you is to be thinking of, stop selling the bud vase and think about the whole picture. Toy stores, you could talk about, at least my niece and nephew, they always get all these tons of toys, and then they say, well, we should put some away for the future. Well, what about thinking, what is the subscription, or what is thinking, a lot of people give at Christmas, what if we sent another gift in 3 months when they forgot about it, or whatever it's going to be. But that's what I want you to center in on this week, is being creative. Because people who've been in the business, we get caught up in the, oh, can I help you find something? Oh, it's over here. Anything else? No, that's it. Oh, we do gift wrapping. It's $1. Oh, it's free. Oh, you have to wait 20 minutes. Whatever it's going to be. Instead of, the creativity is thinking, how high is up? What is my main point I want you to know today? It's what? What is it? Type it in. What's my main point I want you to get across today? Type it in there so I know you are listening. Let me know you are listening. All right. And also, if you've been on Sherry Creative, good. That's good. That's exactly it. You can always sell down, aim for the stars. Exactly. Value, adding value. There you go, Teresa Victoria. You're listening. I'm glad to know that. How high is up? That's exactly it. And don't confuse me, because you're in the picture framing industry, Sherry. I can't tell you how many times I've gone into a framer and they're like, oh, we could do this, and we could do this, and we could do this. And you're just like, whoa. Instead of just saying, the best option would be we put three that will frame it really well. And this is the great option, but this would be even a better option. And don't start getting into museum glass or regular glass, and it's not really worth museum glass. Just go with its museum glass. That's it. Thank you, Andrew. Don't sell from your own damn wallet. Done with that, Yeah, Lynn, I mean, I get it. Sale on gift certificates, I get that, and that's fine. But again, there's not much that's tactile. So if you're going to sell it, why don't you sell the gift certificates for you, and you can use it later on and sell something in your store so they have something tactile. That's what I want you to get out of today. And by the way, if you've been using SalesRx, a lot of times people pull back and they're like, oh, it's the holidays, we just got to let them go. And there's a certain truth to however you've trained them is how they're going to play the ball right now. But you don't drop building rapport. You don't drop juggling customers. You don't drop things because you're busy. You tell your crew, now is the time we have to use all of it, because the sky is the limit. All right. I have a question here from Vera. And if you have a question like Ellie did, you can add it into the comments here and I will answer it. I have another few minutes here. And if you like what I have to say, give me some thumbs up. If it's on LinkedIn, you can give me applause. If it's on Facebook, you can give me hearts. And if it's on YouTube, you can like it, all that stuff. All right. So Vera has kind of a long story here, but I figure it's worth you hearing. Yesterday, the last Saturday before Christmas, I got a message from my one and only high school student who was going to wrap presents on what would be obviously a busy day. She said, "Sorry to do this again, but I got in trouble with my parents. My mom's not speaking to me and won't bring me. I tried calling this other person, but she's busy. I'm sorry." Now, the Saturday before, she didn't show. And when I texted her, she said she had family issues. Her brother totaled the car. And I tended to say that was okay. And, we live in a small town. Um, uh, I find it frustrating when parents don't respect their child's commitment to a job. Or am I being naive that the kid is using this as an excuse to quit? I gave her an out on Thursday and asked if she enjoyed this type of work we have for her and if she thought she could do it. And she said, "Oh, yeah, in January." So, any suggestions for working with high school students? And I wrote quite simply, you don't remove the accountability because they're high school students. Now, I'm going to be doing 3 new webinars in January, and I've got 3 bonuses for people who are going to be joining Sales RX because we're going to be doing the club, which will start the end of January. That's exciting. But part of it is, how do we create a culture of accountability? I was reading an article the other day that said how Sephora had stopped doing background checks. Another brand had stopped doing in-person interviews. It was pretty much hire sight unseen, and they started. And I think there's going to be this great reckoning in retail where, look, the baby boomers are leaving. They have said, "I don't want to get sick. I don't want to work these hours. I'm retiring early." And we aren't seeing the young people step up. But I can tell you one thing that works with any age employee is train them and hold them accountable for doing the job. And the people that like that are going to work well for you. And the people that aren't are going to leave. And that's great. What I see too many retailers doing right now is they've thrown the accountability picture out the window. They've told me how hard it is to be them. And you've seen them on Sunday mornings, how it sucks to be them and they're this and that. And it's hard to get good help and all that. Well, people who enjoy working in retail enjoy having structure and enjoy having a leader who's going to teach them and hold them accountable. And then they hold each other accountable. What doesn't work is throwing it out and saying, it doesn't matter. We just need bodies in here because I want trainable bodies if I'm going to have you working my floor. And if I'm going to pay you 15, 16, $18 an hour, which realistically is what's going to happen, then the sky is the limit for you. But if you're going to settle for whoever will work and will treat you like crap, and then you feel bad and you try to be the good person, I'm just telling you that is a road paved to hell. And I don't want that for you. And you shouldn't want that for you either, right? So there you go. Diana, spiffs for add-ons. The staff gets a gift on something you don't have to put on sale. Yeah, that's a great idea, Diana. I like that. That's good. Teach accountability. I'll remember my first boss for teaching me a great work ethic. Yeah, that's right, Gene. We all remember that. That first person that held you accountable set your North Star, and now that's why you're a successful business. And a lot of people don't learn that. And instead, at this time of the year, before another idea coming out, if the news media comes to you, what kind of holiday are you having? Be honest. The reporter wants to say a story of, it sucks to be you. Oh, the supply chain's disrupted it. We don't have enough people. And, I'm standing here and it should be busy. And no one's, if you want to do that, shoot yourself in the foot because you're going to be showing that you are not a place people want to go. So if that was me, I would have my employees be acting like they were waiting on each other and make the store look busy. You always want the public face is, business is great. We love our customers. It's been a phenomenal year. And that attracts people. Please do not be one of those people. And it could be next week, right? After the holidays, could be in January, but someone sticking a mic in your face and saying, "Does it suck to be you?" And then you vomiting every fear you have, everything you've heard. That, coronavirus, it's just horrible. We don't want to hear that. They want to tell that story. You don't have to participate. Fair enough. All right. Marcus, keep me posted for your newsletters. Dude, I will put a link to join me after this broadcast. I'll put it in from there. How's that? There you go. Pick up a new pair with this purchase. That's exactly it, Vera. Exactly. I did that last week on the news. I hope you did it like life was good, Ellie. Yeah, not the other. All right. So exactly. And those who are saying like, "Oh, online is the way to go," just remember the conversion rate on online sales is 1%. Okay, imagine being a baker. I'm just going to keep making this bread. Oh, another one didn't work. Oh, another one didn't work out. Then 99. Oh, after 99, that one bought something. There's a lot that goes into it, which is why a lot of direct to consumer brands are realizing they got to open shops. Warby Parker, Allbirds, there's plenty of them because they're realizing that it's a really small window to make money at, and it's really labor intense. So, to wrap this all up, just make sure that you realize that it comes down to you, your attitude when you unlock those doors. Christmas music, I can hardly wait till it's over. You win. It sucks to be you. And now all of your employees feel the same way. And now it's me versus the customer versus, hey, how high is up? Let's have fun. I can experience whatever it is. If you're Harry Winston, you're watching this, $1 million jewelry is certainly something that would be fun to sell, and you can do it. But if the attitude is, these people are probably going to buy anyway, then I think you're probably going to limit your choices. And I don't want that for you. So, again, plan now for January and February marketing. That's why you want to get their names. You want to get them to check in. You want to get that. Yeah, you can do live streams, but make sure you do not divert resources, which is all about the people in front of you are the ones that are most likely to make your holiday, and have goals every day. How much do you expect to sell? And make sure you're going to be realizing that it is not Christmas Eve that makes this month. It's New Year's Eve. We've got a long way to go. So I won't be talking to you next week because you should be taking the day off. I'll talk to you the following week. But that after Christmas piece is just as important. You want to hold on to those sales. So if somebody comes back and they've got apparel and you're now everything in the store's 10% off or 20% off, which I'm not a fan of, but I totally get it. If you're apparel, you've got winter goods, then you might say, hey, you bought this back, everything's 20% off. It's like you got a bonus. So instead of returning it, you can actually get more. Let's shop for what you really want, something like that. But again, the attitude after Christmas is, how do I hold on to these sales, not just accepting them, because that's not good. So if you got anything out of what I talked about today, would you type it in down below? What's one thing that you got out of spending the last 22 minutes with me? And also, I need to see more of these so that I know that. There you go, a little animation there, so that I know that you got something. Type in, what's one thing you got out of spending 20 minutes with me this morning? What's one thing you're going to do? Type it in there right below. You can do this. You can do it. I don't care what platform you're on. I read all of them. That's inspiration. Oh, well, that's good, Rose. I'm always glad to know that. That's always good. That's good. Put the holiday merchandise on sale now. That's exactly right, Ellie. Do not wait for that. That is just not good. Marcus, you'll need to give me more information. I'm not sure exactly what that talks about. What do I think of network marketing opportunities? You can always be marketing. You just have to have a elevator pitch. What do you do? I build brick and mortar. I help brick and mortar businesses sell more merchandise. That's what I do. It's easy to understand. And then somebody can say, oh, tell me more. That's interesting. What can you say in that same time? I think a lot of networking marketing opportunities is you going to talk to people who are in a CPA or a realtor. And I don't think they usually have that much in common. So something to consider. What else did you get out of today? What else? I'm scripting my success. I love that, David. I love that Susan's selling something to walk out with. That's the most important thing. Oh, Jonna, I love that. Whoops, more came in. They keep going up. I can't do them all. It doesn't end on December 24th. Really important for toy stores to understand that, because it's really easy for us to think that, right? Kimberly, have a fun and happy atmosphere in your store. Yeah, it's funny. Yesterday I posted that little bit that I said, make your goal to have fun with your crew and your customers, and sales will take care of themselves. That does not mean you don't need training, right? Because realistically, there's still people in sales or X that are still training, but you've done about all you can do. At this point, you're just going to have to do the best you can, which is why, again, in look for in January, we're going to do one. If you have more than 15 employees, how do you go through and get more sales out of multiple stores? I'm also going to do a strategic coaching session, which means online. It'll be a event you have to register, but I'll just be asking you. So, like, Kimberly, what do you sell, and what's one thing you struggle with? And right there, you're going to have my brilliance to answer your questions specifically for you. And then the final one I'm going to do before we do the club with Sales RX at the end of the month is a strategic roadmap for 2022. What's it take for you to do even better? Don't let the news get in your way. Don't funnel down into what you can't do. This is a time for you to realize that you can do more, and that the more you think about it, the better. Oh, Emmy, I love the idea of getting the customer to come and grab their prize within 30 minutes. Yeah, that was the idea of going through and having a train. Trains are just an easy thing to do. They've got a nice visual. Some people say, oh, I put out, my cosmetics or something like that because you're selling cosmetics. The problem with that is it doesn't look like it's that special, and it's not something that has the legs of giving a nice $100 train with, right? So that's kind of my thing. The more you can be thinking of creative ways to sell more this week, that's the place you want to play. Turn off the news. Just go through, and I'm going to be with you every day. I won't be doing videos every day, but I will be going through to make sure that I support you in the best way I can, because it's all about value add for me, for you, from me. And I appreciate you follow me for all these years, and this whole week and this whole month and this whole time together is built to understand that we can change the way people interact with each other by the people working and shopping in retail. And you are at the front lines of making that all happen. So remember, you're out there making dreams happen every day. Get out there, put your best face on. And if you're struggling with that, well, then just look, why does it feel better to talk about how it sucks to be you or how you want to feel bad, and versus I should just use my choice muscle. This is the most wonderful time of the year. I love doing what I do. And if you can approach it with that, then customers are going to feel that, because selling is nothing more than the transference of feeling. And then you're going to ultimately say, what the hell happened to this day? It flew by. And that's what I always love about this final week. It's a fun time. How high is up? Get those names, and I'll see you later this week. Thanks.